right, let's try this thing, see how it goes. I don't see a place to give you the link right now. If you're on the website, of course, then you can see the link. But I don't see a place where I can comment on my own video on Facebook. So anyway, I'm looking for a link. If you go to learnpianolive.com and then just go to blog and select advice and lessons, the first one should say free piano lesson, how to reharmonize, use cool chords, songs like Love Me Tender. So then you'd be able to download the PDF for this thing. But anyway, this being my first YouTube live video, which I think I'm probably legally obligated to say based on what I've watched in other videos. Everybody's got to say, this is my first Facebook live video. I hope you all enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know how to get that link in there. Let me see. Nope, no such luck. Maybe I can go in as a guest and paste that link in for you in case you want to follow along on your own. Does it say anywhere Jamin Caller is live? Here we go. Oh, awesome. So then I want to comment here, and first comment from Learn Piano Live. There you go. There's the link for the PDF. So hopefully that will help. And let's jump in. This thing is going to be Aura Lee, Not Love Me Tender, which is the same exact song, but of course I wouldn't ever do a cover of a song that was copyrighted, just this one here. So Aura Lee goes something like this. Those are all the chords that are listed there for you, and so then here we go. This is going to be all new chords that I haven't yet tried. I'm going to be trying them here for the first time with you and telling you how I'm coming up with the new chords, and this might end up terrible, in which case I'm hoping that Facebook has an option for deleting videos. But our first thing that we could do is add in a 2-5 or a 6-2-5 or a 3-6-2-5 for any of these. So I'm just going to go through here and kind of randomly pick some of them. Let's go with that one right there, and that one right there, and that one right there, and that one right there. So I'm picking one from each line, all in different places. I guess I didn't pick all different places. Let's pick that one instead. Okay, so we're going to go 2-5 for each of these. So a 2-5 leading into a G is, if we go down here, that's our G. So that would be the 2, and that would be the 5, into the G, which would be the 1. Hopefully that makes some sense for you. And the 2 would be minor, and the 5 would be dominant. So that means I'm going to go A minor to D dominant to G. So I'm going to just add those chords in, just because that's one of the tricks that we can do when we're trying to add change around the chords and stuff. So we're going to go A minor to D7. There we go. Now this D right here, if that's our 1, right here, if that's the 1, then the 2 would be this one, and the 5 would be this one. So I'm going to go E minor to A7 to D, because that's the form of a minor 2-5, as we talked about in several of our other reharmonization covers, is that a major 2-5 is going to have the structure of minor 7, if that makes any sense. If the 7 doesn't make sense, then don't worry about it. Minor to dominant, or 7, to major. So minor to 7 to major. So our 2-5-1 into D is going to be E minor to A7 to D major. So here we go, E minor. I'm going to get rid of this A here, because we're going to use the A right there. So there's no point in having an A and then another A in just a second. So I'm just going to go E minor. This, of course, might not work at all. And kind of we could do the same thing right here. That D is going to show up right there. So instead of playing the D, I'm just going to play the A minor instead of the D. And then the D7 right here into the G. And then over here, yikes, this one's going to be scary. I don't have much time at all here. But going from wanting to get into an E minor, I'd have to go F sharp to B to E really quickly. Now, the form for a minor 2-5-1 is going to be the first chord, the 2, is going to be a half diminished or a minor 7 flat 5, maybe. Those are both two different names for the same chord. And then we would have the 5 chord would be a dominant chord, also known as 7. And then, of course, once we get around to the 1, that's going to be minor. So that's the format for a minor 2-5-1. This is the format for a major 2-5-1, the 2 being minor, the 5 being dominant, and the 1 being major. All right, so then what that means, we would have F sharp, half diminished, to B7 to E minor is our 2-5-1 leading into E minor. Since we're going to end up playing the B7 anyway, I'm going to get rid of that B7, or the B right there, and play instead F sharp, half diminished, to B7 to E minor. And then we're back to something normal here with a lot of time to get into that G. We're going to have to start that bad boy back here. That's the A minor to D7, just like we had up here at the top. So we're going to steal that same one from before to get into that. So now, just with adding in some 2-5-1s, using that circle of fifths and the major or minor pattern for 2-5s, meaning the major pattern being this one down here, the minor pattern being that one right there, to get into a minor chord or to get into a major chord down here. Just so far, what we have is, and let me see here, I should probably be watching to see if there are any, there we go. Nice. All right. So now we have something like all the same. Now here comes the A minor to D7, A minor to D7 to G, then G, and then E minor to A7. That's kind of pretty. D. Then this is going to be the tough one. That sounds pretty cool. That was F sharp, half diminished, to B7 to E minor. C to G, and then A, D, G, A. All right, so that's all of just the 2 5s so far. One more time, I'll try to call these chords out as I go. So we're going to have G, A minor to D7 to G, G, E, B minor 7 to A7, D, G, then G, F half diminished, B7, E minor to G, to C, A minor, D, G, D, and we could add in some more in here, so I'm going to throw in an additional A minor right here to D7. That feels like that would probably work out. Let's see if there's another one. Man, that's really interesting. That's good. Yeah. This one right here. So this one, I'm going to actually, this is the one that we were going to, literally the one. And so we're going to get rid of that one, turn that into a D7 and play the A minor right there. So we have a 2 into a 5 into a 1 that never actually happened. And then this is going to be the 2 to the 5 to the 1 that does happen, to the G. So the E minor 7 to the A7 was going into a D, but then I took the D out, replaced it with an A minor to a D7, 2-5ing into the G. So that would be something like this. G, A minor, D7, G. E minor 7 to A7, A minor to D7 to G. That's my favorite. C, G, A minor, D7, G, A minor. Okay, so let's do a different something in here. Switch back to that tab. There we go. So then We have changing the chord quality where the melody is not on the 3. So anytime we have a chord where the melody is not the 3, then we could change the 3 of the chord that's currently being played. Then we can change that chord into whatever the opposite of it is. For a minor chord, that would be major. For a major chord, that would be minor. So we could go right there. We've got an A chord, but the melody is not the 3 of the chord. So we could go, we could turn that into an A minor chord. That'd be interesting. Yeah, it's actually not interesting. It's boring. It's the opposite of interesting. That A, that C sharp is kind of what made that whole chord interesting there. It's not wrong if you change it to a minor. I don't like it. Yeah. No, that sounds terrible. And then E minor. And then A minor. Right there. We could change this one right here. This one wouldn't sound bad at all. So that's an A minor, but the melody is, and the 3 of the chord would be that C sharp right there. So that wouldn't make a big difference. So we could turn that into an A7 right there. Turn it into, from minor into major. So we got, that could work too. We'd go E minor and then just change it into to an E regular there. The E, we'll call that 7. And then, yes. All right, so let's see here. We got G, F sharp, half diminished to B7, to E minor, to E major. I'm going to put that in place of that G. And then we've got C. We can turn that into a minor too, because right there we've got the melody is up there, and the 3 of the C chord is right there. Wow, okay. So that's going to be a C minor. So I'm just taking, again, major chords, turning a minor, minor chords, turning a major, and seeing what they sound like. If I like it, I keep it. If not, throw it out. The melody's right there sitting on the 3 of the chord. That's our chord, and that's the 3. So we can't really change that one into a minor, because it would give us those two at the same time, which would be horrible. I'm afraid this one right here is going to be the same situation that we had at the beginning, where I could turn that into a minor, but that's going to make the song more boring, since the A major is really kind of the most interesting part of that. And then A minor to D7 to G. So again, from the top, A minor, D7, G, E. What did I do there? Oh, I flat 9. Sorry. A7, and then D7 to G. Now, see, I ended up not liking that after all, because right here I'm already playing an A7, and then I go to the really cool chord of A7, the exact same thing. So I'm going to turn this one right here back into a minor, because I like the chord quality change from the A major to the A minor. I think that sounds cooler. And then back to A minor. And then C minor 7 to G, A, D, G, A minor to D7. So what did we actually end up changing there? We did 1 right there, and then we did 1 right there. So that's 2 of them that we changed into major, or turned into the opposite of what it was already. Just 2 of them? Really? Okay. Huh. I wish there were more. But it's already got a lot of funky chords in it, so we could, any funkifying that we try to do of it just made it less cool. All right, so Tritone sub. On dominant chords, this is where things can get hairy here. So I'm just going to try different chords here where I'm playing a dominant chord. That's any chord that's major with just the number 7 after it. So like a D7, A7, E flat 7, just a regular old chord with the 7 after it, not minor, and it doesn't say major. Then I'm going to play the chord instead that is a tritone away or 6 half steps away. So in other words, if I were to do this one right here, that's a D7. The note that is 6 half steps away from a D7 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an A flat. So right there, instead of playing the D7, I'm going to try an A flat 7. That might sound horrible, but only one way to find out. So that's called a tritone sub, just taking a dominant chord and playing the dominant chord that's a tritone away, 6 half steps away, instead of the original chord. Kind of have to change it up a little bit because we got to fit in that melody note. But I like it. We'll use it. So that one's going to be an A7, A flat 7, sorry. A flat 7, A minor, and then G. We've got E, A minor. Maybe that one would work. Let's try that one because I'm really wanting to turn this one into an A7 right here, like we had before. So let me get rid of that, turn that back into that A7 that we were hoping for before. And then this one, this A7, we're going to go for, instead of an A, we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be an E flat 7. Yeah, this might not work out. E flat 7. Let's see what that sounds like. Man. E minor, E flat. We'll keep it just because I'm really wanting to play this A7 right here. I want to have more minor to major transitions than we had before. So we're going to keep that A7 right there. We're going to play an E flat 7 right there, which is really a stretch because we've got that note right there. The E flat chord is that thing right there, and when we play that note right there, that's a bit of a stretch. But we'll try this thing from the top. Oh, let's do one more at the end. Let's see here. Right here, we've got a 7 chord right there. So let's play the tritone of D7, which is, we're going to go A minor to, D is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half steps away. It's going to be an A flat, dominant. So now we have then G, F half diminished to B7, E to E7, then C to C minor to G, A, to A minor to D7. Now, one thing I have on the sheet for the next one I don't think is on here is substituting relative minors for any major chord. So anytime we have, for example, this is the one that I'm wanting to use it on, this guy right here, this C. Instead of playing a C, you just change the bass note of that to the relative minor, the note that is 3 half steps lower. So you just play the note that is 3 half steps lower in your left hand, and bam, now you have a chord substitution. Instead of playing a C major 7, that turns this one into like an A minor 9. So then right here, instead of playing that C, we'd play an A minor 9 or 7. So that's going to turn that into an A minor. The reason that I like that one there is that the chord before it, this E7, really wants to, if you take a look at the circle of fifths, that E7 is really wanting to move to an A anyway. So that bass line is really wanting to move to that A, which conveniently is the relative minor to C major. So anyway, that one is, I guess I kind of knew that one. just as I got to that E7, I went, oh, I really wanted to move that thing to an A, but the next chord was a C, and then in my brain I was like, oh, we got relative minors there, we can just go to the A minor there. So that's not like just a random selection, as we've done with the rest of them, just kind of randomly choosing chords. But substituting relative minors for majors is definitely a thing. So that would turn that line into F sharp half diminished, B7, E minor to E to A to C minor to G, and then A flat 7, G, A minor to D to G. Whew. Okay, let's try one more of these, and then I need to go prep for the Learn Piano Live members live lesson. We did 2-5 tries tone subs. Let's not do that. Let's do sus4 and sharp. Yeah, let's at least do this one. So we're gonna go sus4 and or sharp 4. So we're gonna just play some chord like a G, and I've accidentally been doing this some throughout this anyway. Just taking any major chord and playing the note in the middle that is a half step above, taking a 3 up to a 4. So, especially at the ends of lines, I've been playing something like this. Like that, playing that 4 instead of the 3. So obviously at the ends of lines is one where I like to do it. G sus to G. Again, we'll go here. G sus to G. But you can try it in other places too, where it's not the end of a line. So if we try this one right here, A sus to an A. That might sound horrible, but we might like it. That was pretty. We'll keep that one. And then we have A minor, A flat. We're not going to try it on this one. G. E minor to E flat 7 to A. Is that what we did? No, A flat. That can't be right. What was that about? Did we do that? That sounds horrible. No, I miswrote something in there. Oh, that was supposed to be A7. Okay, probably trying to talk and write at the same time. Yeah, so we could do this one right here. As long as we do it quick, we could do A7 sus to an A7. Man, we got a lot of chords right in there. So we've got A7 to D to G. So that's A7 sus to A7 to D7 to G. That's a lot of chords. And then we, right there, a little suspended on the B7. So B7 suspended. On that one as well, E7 suspended to E7, A minor, A flat 7. That kind of makes that whole thing right there, that A suspended to A7, kind of makes that feel like that E, because that's the E minor chord right there. And that is also, if you put an A in the bass, that's the A suspended chord right there. So the E minor to A is very much like an A suspended to an A. So that's going to have the same feel in general as wherever we did that before. It was right up somewhere. Didn't we have one of those? An E minor. Oh, we did that right here in the second line, but then we distorted it with all kinds of other junk in there. So yeah, so we get that thing back there. A suspended, then A minor, D7. Okay, let's call that a day for now. We only did 4 of the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points that were on here, but we'll get to them all eventually. So now our new, maybe better, maybe worse version of Love Me Tender is, I'll try to call them out first, and then I'll play it without calling them out. G, A suspended to A minor to A flat, G suspended to G, E minor 7 to E7 to A7 suspended to A7 to D7 to G, and then G, F, half diminished, B7 suspended to B7 to E minor to E7 suspended to E7, A minor to C minor to G, A minor, A flat 7, G, A suspended to A7 to A minor to D7 to G suspended. All right, now without the talking part, let's try this thing. Time. Something like that. I don't know. So there are some of the rules of harmonization, reharmonization, and obviously we have a lot more to get to. Next time I think I'm going to just start on the bottom of the list and try to work my way forward, work my way up. But anyway, if you have other song suggestions of what we might try next time to reharmonize, then let me know. And if you are one of the live students and you're watching this on the site, then cool, you've already got your PDF. If not, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or something else, then you can, there should be a link down below this video where you can download the PDF and try this on your own. You'll come up with different answers than me each time you do this. But anyway, there are some ideas. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments and tell me how I can improve this for you for next time. And good luck. And